All right guys, taking a little video today. I'm putting on the Forge Motorsport front mount intercooler. So we're gonna do a little step-by-step guide on the entire process when it comes to taking off the front bumper, what size sockets you'll need, what tools you might need. And I want you guys to keep in mind too, I'm gonna be doing all of this right here in my driveway. I'm using wood to give the car a little bit more height off the ground. I wanna do it in a way that allows anybody to do it themselves, you know, just simple tools that you can go pick up at Canadian Tire and kind of be able to do it all right here in your own driveway. Yeah, so we'll get right to it. Now, when it comes to taking the front bumper off, you're gonna need two things. Now, it may vary for some of you, because I believe mine has changed, but as you guys can see, I'm using they call this a spinner, basically a screwdriver that you can attach a socket head to. And for mine, it's a 7mm. Now I believe OEM, they might use the 8mm, but it's up to you guys to just try out different sockets and figure it out as you go. For me, they changed mine to a 7mm. It's just what the shop used when they put my car back together after the accident. So you're gonna wanna turn your wheel. I'm lowered, so it's very hard to get under the fender here. So I turn my wheel in the opposite direction so that I can get to that. Right at my fingertip, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a little screw, a little bolt. And you got one of these on each side, and that just holds the front bumper that attaches it to the fender here. So you'll take one of those out on each side. The rest is just pop clips like this. And I'll show you guys how to do those as well. When it comes to taking out the pop clip, you just need I use a flathead screwdriver. If you want to use something like a plastic shim, that works too. Just be careful when you do it, you don't scratch the edge of the paint here on your fender. So I'll give you guys a little example. All right, you got a little bit more light up here. These are the pop clips. You just stick the flathead right in between like what looks to be like a washer. Right in between that, and kind of just wiggle it back and forth like that. And then it'll pop up and you can sort of just pull it right off. And there it goes. And that's exactly what you don't want to do. I just lost the pop clip. But yeah, and then you got holes like this. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you got on your sides 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 pop clips on each side, 6 on the top, and then underneath, right behind the lip. I'm doing my best here for you. It's a little bit tough to show you, but this lip right here, guys, directly behind that lip, pretty much on the tip of my index, you have more pop clips underneath. And I believe there's 6 or 7 underneath the vehicle. All right guys, once you're done getting the 6 pop clips off the top, then you got 4 in each wheel well, and you got 6 pop clips underneath. These are what the bullets, they're 7mm on mine. Like I said, for you guys, it might be 8mm, but it's up to you to just check the socket sizes and figure it out. But these are what they look like, and they go directly underneath here, and they sort of just make sure the bumper stays attached to the fender. So there's 1 on each side. Other thing, guys, if you got a front plate bracket, it goes through your tow hook. You can't take your front bumper off without that being off. I almost just tried that and probably would have caused some scratches, so take your time, guys. You guys see that little black lip here? Right behind that little lip on the splash shield, there's 6 pop clips. Now, you guys are also gonna see a couple bolts. I don't know if you can see that right at the tip of my fingertip, there's a bolt. You guys don't have to take that off. That's only to hold your splash shield to the car, but it doesn't actually attach it to the bumper. For the bumper, you just got to remove the pop clips. Everything is removed. We got the tow hook license plate out, so now the bumper can come off. I'm just going to show you guys, this is where it gets nerve-wracking. My first time sucked. You're afraid to break stuff. You just can't be afraid, you just have to do it. Otherwise, give it to a shop and they're going to do the exact same thing that you're about to do. So you're quite literally just going to grab it and pull. You guys are gonna know a lot of times these break. This is just soft plastic. Try not to sweat it too much. I know there's one company right now in the middle of developing metal brackets that go in between here, and then it basically replaces the plastic with metal. I'm gonna have my dad help me in a moment. Slowly everything comes off. This side. So I'm gonna have my dad help me right now. He's gonna grab one end and it's just gonna fall right off the car just like that. Now, the one thing to be careful of if you modified your vehicle and you have a lit logo or any electronics that connect to the front bumper, when I have the lit logo, there's wiring going right across here that attaches to right here. So that wiring, you got to make sure you unplug it. Once you guys get the front bumper off, the next step is to take off this little shield in front of the intercooler. The only thing holding on that plastic shield is 4 10mm bolts like this. And we just use any socket really. And the holes, 1, 2 on each side. And then there's a wire right here that you guys can see clips in. It's just held with a clip into that plastic shroud. And then this whole piece right here is going to come right off. Once you guys got this plastic shroud off, so we just used long nose.
They were, but they have been modified.
They've been modified, Dad says. And it's just a clip like this. So you got to squeeze up and down the way it's plugged in. You squeeze it up and down, and you kind of just pop that right out of that hole right there. Now, when it comes to this intercooler, it's very similar to the shroud. It's just held in with 4 bolts, and it's probably 10mm again. 2 on that side, 2 on this side, and then the only thing holding it on is the piping, the hot side and the cold side. So just a little update for you is, you can take the front bumper off with just the pop clips out of the splash shield, but of course we've come to the conclusion that to get to the hot side and cold side pipes behind here, it's going to be a lot easier to work underneath the car. So you're better off removing this whole splash shield, guys. Now, when it comes to removing the splash shield, for us, it's a 10mm socket, and there's 3 or 4 bolts underneath. And underneath the vehicle, you'll see the bolt head sticking out shortly behind where the pop clips are. And you just remove those, and once you remove those, you see here, this is what it attaches to. That hole right there goes right up, and it holds right into the frame here. And once all those are removed, that splash shield is just going to fall right to the floor, and then everything underneath the engine is going to be nice and easy to work on. Get to those ring clamps that are holding the cold pipe and hot pipe on, much easier with the splash shield off. Once your 3 or 4 10mm bolts are removed and all your pop clips are off, that splash shield is going to fall right off. Now, when it comes to the hoses underneath here, there's gear clamps holding them together. With just the splash shield and the front bumper off, it's on a tricky angle. We're using one of these, and you just gotta maneuver it in there. If you guys can see it here at the edge of my finger, right in there. You gotta be able to loosen that so that you can get that hose off the intercooler so that you can take it off the vehicle. So we just got the intercooler off the car. Now I got a better view. I can show you guys a little bit easier of what I meant. Once those 2 bolts are off on each side, it's a 10mm. It's just the hoses that you got to remove. Now you can see them clearly right here. There's one right here coming through this little hole area, and then the other one is right here. And there's the gear clamps. You just got to loosen those gear clamps. Once they're loosened enough and the 4 bolts are off the intercooler, it's a matter of just really twisting the pipes so that you can wiggle it off this. The other thing, guys, is that we're also going to be removing the hoses because Forge Motorsport intercooler does come with new hoses. But that is the stock intercooler. It's a quick little view in comparison now that I got the OEM off the car. It is truly incredible, the size difference, guys. It's like over twice the thickness. And on top of that, the front of it is bigger. I'm pretty excited to get this on the car. These are the hoses here. My stock ones are still attached. We just got to finish unclamping those. Forge did make sure to send you guys a hot side and a cold side pipe for the intercooler. So we're gonna work on getting those other hoses off, and then we're gonna assemble it all back together.
Well, I need an 8mm ratchet wrench. I haven't got really room.
So right now, guys, we're just taking off the piping. It's a little bit tricky to get in there. We're using a ratchet wrench to get this side. And what he's doing is he's just twisting the silicone tube to help break the seal and get that to come off the car. And there's the hose. That gear clamp is pretty tight around that. So it takes a little bit of play, but if you stay patient with yourself. These are the 2 stocks. You can tell the size difference. Pretty awesome to see. That looks like horsepower, if you ask me. One little modification that you guys are gonna have to do, right underneath the crash bar right, this is the ambient air sensor bracket. It attaches underneath the crash bar, about right there, and this is the ambient air sensor right here. Now, you're either gonna have to bend, or you can completely take off that bracket so that the intercooler can fit into place. Now, with Forge Engineering, guys, they've thought of that. And of course, since you gotta bend or modify that bracket, as you can see that keyhole right there that the air sensor goes into, they've put that same keyhole right into one of the wings here that guides air into the intercooler. And that's where you're gonna plug in your ambient air sensor. Ambient air sensor into. So here it is, guys, with Shelby in the background. The Forge front mount intercooler is installed. This is where the air temp sensor was relocated, right into that little keyhole. You guys see it plugs right into the back. Forge made a nice little spot on the front of that front mount intercooler for that. The wiring tucks in perfectly. It still clips into the bottom of the crash bar. Everything fit good. Now, the one thing I do want to tell you guys, when it comes to these, let me see if I can get a focus here. Let me remove a filter on this camera. Much better, much better. Why didn't I do this to begin with? But I want to show you guys underneath because I think this is going to be really important. When it comes to these silicone hoses, they fit perfect, guys. So you're going to want to make sure that the hoses are on over the ridge, because on the pipes there's a ridge. So when the silicone goes over, it's nice and tight. Make sure your gear clamp is on the outside of that ridge so that it forms a nice seal. And there's the other side, perfectly flush. Now, if it doesn't feel like it's fitting perfectly at the start, you gotta play with the silicone hose, guys. You gotta twist it up and down until you're on the perfect angle for that. You also wanna make sure that you're not touching this belt right here, because you're gonna be awfully close, maybe an inch, inch and a half from that belt. And of course, that belt will run right through that in a heartbeat. And then there's the engine as well. You wanna make sure you guys aren't touching the engine on the other side of that pipe. And to give you guys a view of this side real quick, on this side it was a little bit easier to get. That's where I put my gear clamp bolt right there so that I could access it from underneath the intercooler. On the right side of the car here, I'm sorry if this is sloppy. If there's any way I can help you guys out, please send me a message. And you know I'll do my best always to help you guys out. Again, guys, I couldn't do any of this without my dad. My dad's incredibly intelligent. I have to give him credit for all the tools too. He's got all the different types of ratchet sets and socket sets, and makes doing jobs like this a lot easier. So I'm very grateful for that. Make sure you guys thank the people around you that give you guys help. I'm really excited to start it all up, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. So with the front mount intercooler installed, we're gonna start up the vehicle and we'll find out. Oh my goodness. Hey guys, listen, if you made it here to the ending of this video, I really appreciate you watching all of it. After finishing editing, I realized I didn't really film any sort of ending to the video. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to Forge Motorsport and all the incredible amount of support they've given me. Both the United Kingdom branch, both the USA branch, they both supported me tremendously throughout my journey building my car, and we're still not done yet. We're still going. So all that to say, I'm very grateful, and I really appreciate you guys watching this. I hope the video helped you. If you have any questions at all, drop them in the comment section or shoot me a private message on Instagram. I try to reply to all my DMs. I don't get back to everybody super quickly sometimes, but I do appreciate your patience and all the support from everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, rock on.